tuning into another episode here at Grizzly Talk. I am your co-host at Mike on the mic, and we got our other co-host here,
David Alvarez F.
and we got two super special guests here with us. One of them is a fan favorite, Mr. Sam from FTK, right?
What's going on, man? I guess this is my third time on here?
Third time on here.
I'm like a Joey Diaz on Joe Rogan now.
Yeah. And thank you for bringing Des GrumpyBurgerLady. We are super excited to have you.
GBL.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm interested on getting to know you and getting to hear about your story. I know Sam kind of gave us a little bit of info, but do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do?
Sure. I'm Des. I am a Fresno native. I'm an artist. I'm a local community organizer. And yeah, I own Grumpy Burger Ladies and D's Craft Experiences. Grumpy Burger Ladies is opening in its first storefront downtown on Fulton Street alongside me and my family's original business, Take Three. So we're opening it as one restaurant with two brands under the same roof.
Wow, that's great. I know, heard a little bit about how you've kind of done your thing, and then your family has, a separate restaurant. What's the difference between the two, and how are you feeling about the collaboration?
So my dad and I opened Take Three together in 2013. Well, we officially opened in 2014, but he had been in the burger business when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. He had a restaurant called Monster Burger. So he brought me into the burger business in the 2010s. And we closed at the end of 2020 due to like COVID related stuff and just both of us making like career pivots that made more sense than the restaurant at that time. But I just was not done with burgers yet. So I started catering and branded a new business, which was Grumpy Burger Ladies. I created my own style of burgers. The smush burger or the grumpy burger is how people know it. And so we decided to bring both products under the same roof. He wanted to reopen. I was like, all right, well, let's do it together because we kind of need each other. So.
Well, what are some of the specialties between the two? Like, so you talked about the smush burger. Is that somewhat like a smash burger, or
kind of?
No,
it's not really. Yeah,
it's own thing. It's like its own thing.
It is. It's definitely its own thing. And kind of the reason we started to rebrand it to the Grumpy Burger is because people get it confused a lot. It's like smush and smash are just way too close together. That was a branding blunder of mine for sure. But the smush burger or the Grumpy Burger is essentially where everything is smushed together. It is all the toppings go down onto the grill, and then the meat is smushed into the toppings. So let's say you got like your onions, your mushrooms, some blue cheese. That goes down on the grill first, and then it gets caramelized into the meat, and it all kind of cooks in together. Then 2 slices of cheese between a brioche bun, and it's just like full meal.
It's like a grilled cheese kind of vibe.
Kind of like a patty melt kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Except for juicier and more delicious and more flavorful than any patty melt you've ever had.
Wow. We gotta get out there and try it. Yeah, and then what about on the Take Three side?
She's been doing pop-ups with Grumpy Burger Ladies for quite a while now too. Like she does a
Really?
lot of events.
Yeah, Grumpy Burger Lady started in the beginning of 2021. Yeah. We closed Take 3 in December of 2020, and Grumpy Burger Ladies was going by like February of 2021.
Wow.
You did not leave the.
I was like, I'm not ready to be done. I need to make burgers. Yeah. So the difference is Take 3 is more of your classic take on a burger, except for that we have like all our special tricks that we do. Even the way my dad puts the veggies on the burger is like specific to the mouthfeel that he wants people to have when they bite into it. So we actually put our veggies like on the bottom instead of the top, so that you're going through that like hot, warm meat, like and getting that like soft first before you get the bite and the crunch of the veggies. So like it's like a regular burger but like with burger science.
Yeah, no, that's great because order does matter. Like
Absolutely.
Even when because the different textures and everything like that. It's funny because I was never a soda person, right? Like I was never really into that. My thing was mainly I just drink water. Now I drink a little bit of alcohol, right? But I remember my family, we actually had a restaurant growing up. And so I was into the iced teas. Like I don't like the carbonation. And so there was a trick that I would do because I would water it down because I don't like it super sweet. So I would put the water first and then I would put the iced tea on top. And because the iced tea is denser than the water, it mixes perfectly. Versus if you do the iced tea first and then the water just sits at the top. Kind of like if you ever leave all your ice right at the soda, you notice like the top is like just clear, right?
Watered
So
down,
it's
yeah.
because of the density of the water. Or at least that's the way, at least to the science that I know.
It is. You know, I do
Yeah.
bartending too, and so sometimes I'll do like the multicolored drinks, and it's all about the viscosity of the different liquids, how you can stack them on top of
On
each
top
other
of
to like
each other.
keep something a different color in each section. So
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. So you're doing kind of like a hard opening on Monday. You want to tell us a little bit about that and
Yeah.
or how like how do you get, maybe not how do you get into the, you know, burger industry, but like how do you go about opening a business like this?
Oh man. So I actually worked for the Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce for 3.5 years, doing technical assistance with small businesses and helping them open their businesses. Primarily, we worked with like new businesses and like smaller or micro businesses, like getting them started. So I can really answer that question beginning to end, but I would say like the first thing that you really need to start a business is to be passionate about whatever you're doing. Like I am literally the burger lady. It's not a game. Like
Yeah.
I'm not out here just doing this because I don't love it. There's burgers all over my house. Like I'm really passionate about it. I wear burger shoes. Like it's serious.
There's a burger museum in the.
There is. There's a burger
in Take Three.
museum
In your
at Take
guys'
Three.
store?
Yeah, because I
Wow.
have so much burger memorabilia at my house. It was like just sitting in a closet. Like I buy so much
Yes.
burger stuff, and people give me so much burger stuff. This guy has given me like
Yeah.
Legos, Play-Doh, all kind of stuff. So yeah, we have a museum. I would say so. Passion is what I would always begin with. I think like there are tons of markets that are oversaturated. They're like, you know, they joke like we don't need another t-shirt line, but like if you have a really good idea for a t-shirt line, you know, like I have never seen this and I know that there's a bunch of people who would want this just like I would want it, then it's viable. It's a viable business. So
Yeah.
it's really like what you're passionate about and knowing that you have an idea that you haven't seen before. Don't do shit you saw before. There's nothing that irritates me more than people opening like things that already exist many
Exist.
times over.
Yeah.
Like, and that happens a lot.
Because then it gets saturated. We kind of saw that with like recently, like the like Louisiana chicken sandwiches blew up, and now there's like
They're everywhere. And kind of the same thing with smash burgers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's only a matter of time before people are smushing all their products into their meat and making a grumpy
that's
burger.
a
Yeah.
great idea. Like all those caramelized onions on there, I could only imagine. Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think that like a lot of people in business, it's probably only like, I don't know if I was going to break it down by percentage. I feel like maybe 30% of people have like authentic, amazing ideas and passion. And then like 70% are just like, I could do that. I could sell sandwiches, like, or whatever. It's like, do you really even like sandwiches? Like, are you really about sandwiches? Or
Yeah,
you
to
just,
be
like-
in it every single
And do you
day.
have sandwich shoes?
Yeah, do you have sandwich shoes?
Yeah, no, that's. If you have to ask yourself, what should I rap about? You probably shouldn't be rapping.
There we go.
Yeah, that's true. If you
Yeah.
have a story, or if you have that vision, it's just run with it. And so you grew up like with your dad having this business, or like
Yeah.
how old were you when he started it?
I was little, like I was, you know, under 5, I
Yeah.
think, when he started it.
So
and
as soon
then-
as you had solid food, you were having burgers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big ass burgers. Yep.
So Monster Burger, it was on the west side.
Monster Burgers on the west side on Elm. It was right by Rudy's, the pharmacy that was over there. I don't even know what it is now, but there was like a store across the street called Manor House. I think it's called like Friendly Store now or something. And the store is still there, but Monster Burgers knocked down. But yeah, it was like a cult classic. During
Yeah.
its time, I remember like B95 coming and like having a party there, and
That's-
like that was
yeah,
a big deal.
yeah. So it's like culture, community,
Mm-hmm.
all of that sort of stuff there.
I remember being in there and it was just packed wall to wall with people. It was definitely like a community
So
staple.
you grew up in the industry and
Basically
learn how to do everything. So it's just second nature almost.
By the time we closed, and then when I was little, and then we reopened again when I was maybe 12, and I was able to work in our little window then for maybe a year. But I didn't have tons of experience when I was young. I actually never worked in the service industry, so it's really interesting that I ended up in food and beverage.
Yeah. Well, it's a whole different industry. Like, I mean, I'm kind of like similar background since I was a kid. I mean, yeah, as soon as I was able to, you know, have solid foods, I was beans and rice there at the restaurant. And it's funny, like I would we would eat there almost every single day, you know. So eventually you kind of get tired of
What
it.
restaurant was it?
It was called El Quetzal. It was in Clovis,
In Clovis,
actually. It
okay.
was in Clovis. So they were open for over 30 years. But yeah, as soon as I was able to bust tables and grew up there, all the, regulars knew me. And so I was able to kind of like grow up in that service, that customer service industry more than anything, and building relationships with the customers. And I'm still in the customer service industry. So it's like second nature as well. Yeah. Did you ever like get tired of eating burgers or? Yeah.
You know what? I would say I'm probably tired of eating burgers now. And you know what it really is, even more than it's that I'm tired of the food, but you do really get tired. You prep hundreds of pounds of beef. You don't want to eat beef. Like, you just don't.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, like, beef just ain't sitting well in these old guts no more. So I'll say for a few reasons, like, yeah, I'm pretty tired of burgers. You know what I never get tired of? Those fries.
Oh yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
There's not enough fries in the world that I would eat that it would be too much, and I definitely get in trouble still.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I'm like, man, if I was still in this restaurant industry, I feel like definitely be a few pounds heavier too.
That's actually how we met. So we were gonna start a restaurant together
Really?
because he wanted to be in the industry again, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I knew him from where he works at now. I hit him up because I saw that he would trade stocks. I was like, if he invests, like maybe he knows some investors. I was like, hey, do you know some investors that might want to get into the restaurant business? He's all like, oh, me. And then, boom, we became best
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Because we
Okay,
were.
so were you passionate about the food?
No, I was passionate about the alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were gonna do the bar?
Yeah, so
It was gonna be kind of a alcohol based restaurant, and they.
we were gonna do it at the brewery district. So I was talking to the lady that owns
A place
most
in
of the
downtown.
places.
Yeah.
We were looking at the whiskey spot
Oh, okay.
before
Oh,
they.
cool, yeah.
So
That's a great spot.
I
It is
went
a
there
great
maybe.
spot. Where the hell is that place? Like,
I don't know.
It's on. That's Fulton.
Yeah, it
Is it
hasn't opened.
open
No,
though?
it's not
It's-
open.
It's
though.
not
No,
open.
No.
They
No.
closed it
No.
down, or.
it's
haven't-
been up
never
on the
opened.
window, but nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I met up with the lady at the same time they were negotiating their deal already, and she's all like, "I'm already talking to someone, but if it doesn't go through, I'll go with you," and it went through. So
Okay.
we couldn't do it, but
It went through.
other things happened and we didn't end up doing it. Maybe in the future, hopefully. Hopefully, in, like,
I
Chinatown.
still want to get back because
I
it's
love that.
Yeah.
it's
But
back in 2016.
If
that
you
we
want to
shut
tell
down.
them the idea of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of food are you gonna
Yeah.
make?
What was it?
Yeah, well, it was gonna be Mexican style. Well, because my family they sold it back in 2016, right? Retired, and so I always wanted to get back into it. And so when he told me the idea, it was in Mexico, Tequila Mexico. They have what's called cantaritos. Have you guys ever had one of those? Right. So, but over there, it's like, I mean, it's famous. People from all over the world come, and like when you go there, it is jam packed with people, and so they'll sell cantaritos by like
Like big
Big
ones?
old-
yeah, like this size, and then they do like a show while they're making it
Like
for you as
teppanyaki
well.
for alcohol.
I think
Okay,
I've
well,
seen
I'm
videos
sorry,
of that
I-
before.
I don't know what it is.
The clay jar.
It's like a clay
look it up.
You've
it's like
seen
a
it
clay like they put it in like clay cups, but they'll put it's like a paloma. Have you ever had a
Yeah, yeah,
paloma?
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So they'll put like the tequila.
It's not the same thing.
No, well, it's a little bit different, but I know that's a little
Uh-huh.
bit. But yeah, they'll put like tequila. What is it? Grapefruit juice,
lime, orange juice.
Oh, and they make like a show of it. Like
yeah.
when they're doing it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and then they'll dump like a whole bottle of tequila in there, and then so they'll have like bandas in there, like live bands and all that sort of stuff, and like like just finger
They
foods
cut
or
up all kind of fruit and do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
there you go.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if you've ever
seen the
seen.
small ones before because
I
they
have.
serve like the
I have.
horchata in them. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But the way
I
the
definitely
guys
have.
do it, I mean, like they're so quick and like, so they're like throwing ice in there and stuff
it's
like
so
that.
good.
But
Oh, that's
You
so
don't
good.
taste the alcohol.
No,
I bet
it's
that would go up. I bet
yeah,
that would,
but you
you
could
guys
go
should-
there with a group of friends and hear the live music and all that sort of stuff. So
The last time I was blackout drunk, I was drinking these.
no,
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
yeah, we've been out there in Mexico, and between the family we get one of those, and yeah, it's a good time.
Is it almost kind of like jungle juice at a high school party, or?
Somewhat,
Like
yeah.
Mexican
Actually,
jungle juice?
yeah, Mexican jungle juice.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's all tequila that he's using, right?
yeah, it's all tequila that he
Yes,
uses.
Oh, he's putting all kinds of fruit in there.
Yeah,
Oh, snap.
orange,
Okay.
grapefruit.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good. But yeah, that was kind of the idea behind it as well. So hopefully in the future we can still do something. But yeah, like all three of those bottles are going in there. So
Pour some Henny in there. You got me, man.
yeah, right.
See the
Some Henny and some apple juice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
man. So how did you guys meet?
I think it was at the Nickel 9 Anthem video shoot.
I was not at that ratchet ass video shoot.
You were. That's where you met your baby daddy.
No, it's not. I met him because I saw him in that music video.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, who is that? Is
Okay.
he tall? And then you're
Okay.
getting it mixed up. I
Okay.
was not at that.
Okay. So we did the Nickel 9 Anthem in 2010, and my homie Bravo, aka Otis Reed, aka
My ex-husband.
her ex-husband, was on the track, and he was in the video, and then Dez and
So I'm pretty sure I just met you. I had like randomly come across you at Cellar Door with him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to your chicken and waffles pop up the first time you did the chicken in the waffle.
yeah, the 40. You did that 40 ounce.
I went to
show.
that 40
Yeah.
show. It was like, was that in
Yeah.
Visalia?
It was in.
It was at a
Sanger.
house.
It was in Sanger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember when I was telling you about the art of the 40?
Yeah.
When it was, so we did a pop up with all the 40 ounce art on display, and she was there with Brav, and then I was telling her that I have this tradition where on March 9th I always cook a T-bone steak with cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape for Notorious B.I.G. since he died on that day, and then I posted pictures of it. This is whenever Instagram was first kind of like taking off, and
Yeah.
like that post of that meal like got like a ton of likes, and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna start doing that." And so then I asked her because she had Take 3, and I said, "Hey, can we do this? Like, can we do a pop up at Take 3 where we like put like Notorious B.I.G. themed artwork?"
I think that was like 2015. Yeah, because this will be our 10th
Yeah, this is
year.
this is our 10th year doing it.
Wow.
So I asked her if we could do it there, and we got Roski and Zumbi, a bunch of like local artists, right?
Yeah. Who did we work with Zumbi on the first one?
I think, well, definitely Roski.
Or yeah. I think
Every year, like different artists, local artists have contributed artwork.
they help
and it's
us
all
like.
For all of Biggie.
yeah, it's all Biggie themed.
So it would be like
so dope.
art, music, and food essentially
food.
for the pop.
And you guys would
Yeah.
be serving the
serving
T-bone
the
and
T-bone
cheese
steak.
egg,
And
cheese
people
egg.
showed up at
546. Who the fuck is this?
Paging
Paging
me
me
at
at 5:46 in the morning.
Oh.
yeah.
So
we
it
opened
started
up
at
yeah, we
5:46.
So
started
that's
at
what time
5:46.
it starts.
Yeah, it starts
Starts
at
at
5:46.
So it's
and
coming
people
up.
showed up for 9 years at 5:46 in the morning
Yeah,
to eat
yeah.
some variation of steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape.
Yeah, we've done
Wow.
tacos, we've done pizza, we've done
Last year we did a sandwich, like a burger. I did a
yeah.
smush.
That's right, yeah.
So you guys are doing that this year again?
Yeah, March 9th.
We're bringing it back to the restaurant. It hasn't been at the restaurant since 2020, obviously, when we closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dez said after, it was because I don't think either one of us were expecting it to blow up as much as it did. I thought it was just going to be some like just hip hop nerds that were going to show up and would get it, and it actually did really well.
We did really well. We
The
did
first year.
reservations, and we had like quite a few sold out slots of the reservations.
And then
did really good.
And then Dez said, she's all, you know what, I'm not even lying, I'm not that big of a Biggie fan. I'm more of a Pac
I was
fan.
always very
Yeah.
much Team Pac.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
And so then she was like, what could we do something like Pac themed? And I said, well, you know what, the 20-year anniversary of his passing is coming up. And then I remembered back whenever I was doing the Kanye sketches, I remember like Kanye being kind of difficult, and I remember thinking to myself, man, at least I'm not working with like Pac. Like, could you imagine how passionate Pac was? Like he would like whatever. And I remember then I had this flashback of seeing this Tupac book, and there were sketches of this what was it? Cafe that he wanted to open up called the Palameca Cafe, and he had left like these detailed sketches of like this logo that he wanted, and he even had like the menu and whatnot. So then I asked Dez, I was like, hey, yo, could we like bring this to life for the anniversary of his, what's it called? And then Dez knows, she's a musician. She's tapped in with like a lot of local musicians, and then we just made it happen. and it now that really blew up. I mean, it was.
You skipped a part. The cease and desist letter
Oh.
from Tupac's
Oh
estate.
no, I was
What?
I was getting to that part. I was gonna let you-
He's all, it was so successful. I'm like,
No.
you
No,
left out the
You-
most
you
traumatic
got quite
part.
a few cease and desist letters.
Yeah.
He's had many. This was my first.
Yeah, that was my fourth. But but it blew. The reason why we got the cease and desist was because I mean it got covered by Rolling Stone, MTV, Newsweek,
BBC.
What was
I remember being like, NPR left me a message. You were like, I'll take it. I'll take it.
yeah. I mean everything you could think
Yeah,
of. Like
every
it was
outlet,
crazy.
like Asian news outlets from Japan. Someone told me that they got stationed here to cover it. Someone who was like from Fresno but was like an anchor for like an outlet in LA said that they sent him home to cover it, to cover the event.
How do you guys get that much exposure?
It just once one person
Yeah, and then they just like
It
all
just
eat
runs-
each other's
yeah,
news. Two
yeah.
Dope Boys put it out first, then Rolling Stone, and then from there,
yeah.
it was on the
Just-
Breakfast Club. That was
Fir-
crazy.
First we feast. I think it's Complex, right? The Complex Network, and then Two Dope Boy. Yeah, but
I
you know what?
I thought Two Dope Boys was the first. You sent it to somebody over there, right?
So actually, you know what? I'm not even front. Like Mike Oz. Shouts out to Mike Oz. He was a big ass part of that, and Tanya.
Tanya Oz did
Oz
our
did
PR
it. Like,
for
Yeah,
that.
she put together like a cool little press release, and it just went out. Two Dope Boys picked it up. First we feast. It was on there, and then my just friends that I hadn't talked to forever from like Vallejo and from like random places were just sending me like, hey, you're in the Rolling Stone. Like, hey, you're on
It was crazy.
TimeMagazine.com. I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it was wild.
How does that feel once you guys are like, wow, we
Well, then we were like, oh shit, like we have to,
Yeah.
this has to be dope now, you know, like now,
Because
like,
it was gonna be like some small time mom and
we
pop.
were
Like
just gonna be
the
like-
restaurant's
like,
very
yeah.
small. We have very
Yeah.
low capacity. We probably had like 3 people on staff. My entire family had to come and work.
Yeah.
That
so
event.
so many people showed up
Oh,
like, from all
thousands.
over.
Thousands. It was like wrapped
Someone was
around,
like,
yeah.
Kylie Jenner was there. I don't think that's true, but I still loved that.
You're like, say that.
Someone said Kylie Jenner was there.
What
So,
year
but
was
we
that?
got to
That was
cease and desist.
2017.
2017.
No,
Man.
it was 2016. It was
2016.
2016.
2016.
But we did get a cease and desist.
Yes, from Tupac's estate.
Yeah, from the.
What does that exactly mean?
So-
I know you have. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it means stop or we will take legal action
Action.
against you, basically. Yeah.
So then we reached out to his aunt.
No, I got in touch with the lawyer first. Him and my dad would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. They were both like, I guess it's over. And I'm like, no, the fuck it is not. We spent a lot of time and energy on this. We're
Wow.
doing it. That's the way I am, though. I'm very much
Well, actually,
like,
you remember who I talked to? Do you want to go down that?
who?
Jake.
Oh, I do.
Not from State Farm.
No, we should not talk about that. No.
Yeah, all right.
No, cease and desist.
Yeah, cease and desist. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, basically, I let Des did talk to the aunt, and
I talked to the lawyer first. The lawyer was like, just explain it to the family. Because I was like, we're not making any money. That was what they were most concerned about, is that we were using his likeness to make money. And I was like, trust and believe there's not a chance we're going to make any fucking money on this
remember
event.
what we told her, though? And she was hella stoked about, we told her if there was any money, we were going to donate it to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, because when Pac was alive, they said that, like, I don't know if it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, someone had flaked on a Make-A-Wish kid, and Pac, like, came and took this kid to Disneyland. And we were like, hey, can we get in contact with that person that you know, they're obviously an adult now, and can we give the money to that person to take a kid to Disneyland? Like, play it forward. And the aunt was hella stoked. The aunt was hella stoked on that. She, like, loved that idea.
Yeah.
Then we hit up Make-A-Wish, and they were like, just give us the money.
Yeah, we just gave it to them with
yeah,
little,
so I don't know if they, whatever, but.
Whatever they did with
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, but that gave you so much exposure, right?
It was really cool. You know what I've learned being in business from promotions like that, though, is it's kind of like everything else. It's kind of like a scandal in the newspaper. When it's yesterday's news, it's yesterday's news.
Yeah.
So we were definitely
What are we doing
flooded for like a week. And that kind of happens almost every time we do a pop-up. Like, we get a bunch of promotion, the news outlets cover it. But after about a week or so, that dies down. Like, it's yesterday's news. So, like, it was really big. But, Yeah, the coolest part was being able to like still be in communication with his aunt afterwards and like talk to her. You know, old black people love to talk,
Especially as an artist too. That's gotta be
I was like shitting my pants, and it was like his actual lawyer too from when he was alive. I was just like, oh my god, how am I talking to these people?
yeah.
So they wanted us to do another one. They wanted us to do one in was it L.A.?
We had kind of put a deck together to do them in multiple different cities. We had like
You guys were
Hennessy
doing a tour?
contact that was going to get us a sponsorship. We had a lot of stuff.
It was open. We had a window where House of Blues had closed, and it was empty. And we could have done it at House of Blues. You know, like obviously that's where Pac did. They first performed Hit 'Em Up, and I was like, oh, that would have been crazy for us to do like the pop up in House of Blues, but we just couldn't get it together in time. And then they ended up doing it in New York with Nas. They did it at Nas's Sweet Chick.
It looked very generic, though. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, that was.
I don't mind hating. I thought that it was very generic, and I felt bad as like a small hometown like creative that like literally we did so much work to bring it to life, and we printed out like pictures from his book that cost us like $700 a piece. Like when I say we were not gonna make money, we were not gonna make money, like because it costs money to do something like that.
Yeah,
we're not some huge operation to do a 1-day thing. It was very expensive. And it was almost like they just took the idea and then didn't do it well.
Didn't do it to the full creative.
No,
Yeah.
we did
Because
custom shirts. We did.
Remember that kid Dave Good? Dave Good from I think he's from Selma. Super creative kid. He did like the full on Machiavelli cross. Like the newspaper stuff on it. I mean, the artwork for it was
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they just sold like swap meet Tupac t-shirts. Okay, I'm gonna stop hating, but that's what it looked like. It looked like some shit you could go get at the swap meet. It was not. It just didn't do it justice. And we had such good ideas.
And you know
they
what?
didn't want to bring you guys out.
At first, that's what they were talking about, and then all of a sudden, she
it.
just ghosted me.
Well, you know what? So when I was talking to her, when I was talking to her about the House of Blues stuff, I think they were like, okay, go ahead. And it was kind of like, well, who's putting up the money? And I think she was like, and I was like, man, I could put something on it. I ain't got it.
I got ends on it, but
I can put 5 on it, but I don't, like
we would have figured it out.
Yeah. And it just kind of, and then probably somebody stepped in and was like, hey, we could do it here, and you know.
And then it just kind of took off,
Yeah.
and that's like clear across the U.S.
And at the time, I mean, you know, Des had little kids back then. You know, she had her restaurant. I was director of marketing for the Grizzlies at the time, and that was just kind of one of the side things that we were doing. So we just didn't really.
Yeah, it just kind of was what it was. My feelings was hurt though.
Yeah.
If Tupac's aunt is somehow watching this, you hurt my feelings.
But do you remember we did the Hennessy wings because we were making all this themed food.
Yeah.
Like we did the food that he had on his menu, but then we added sort of our own.
So
sort of
we
spins
didn't
also.
exactly. His menu was soul food. So we kind of made these more kind of soul food themed things. We also had a California Love burger, chicken sandwich, and we did the Hennessy wings.
Because there's a quote from Shock G who said, "I never saw Tupac ever eat a vegetable. All he ever had was Hennessy and chicken wings." And so we made
a Hennessy chicken wings.
And then I ended up taking those to Cocky's for the positive energy, and we had those.
I can't remember what the burger was that we did, but I do remember that when I was in touch with his aunt, she had said that he had a burger on the menu for his cafe because her husband, he would say he made the best burgers in the world. And so he put like a burger on the menu that was an ode to the uncle. So she was like, it's actually really cool that you guys are doing this at a burger restaurant because that was going to be one of the staples on his menu. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Man, what a time. It
Right?
was like, yeah, that's crazy.
2016 was the best, huh?
2016 was a good year.
That's the year I
And you
graduated.
guys never wanted to do it like again, kind of like the Biggie thing, but that sounds like it was a whole bigger operation.
I think I was butthurt when they stole the idea, and I just was like,
I mean, we couldn't really say that they stole the
Can't say
idea
they
because it was
stole it.
their idea.
It wasn't their idea, it was his idea. But
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the.
But you guys brought it to life.
Yeah, I mean, like, so earlier today I saw that Louis Vuitton kind of did a design that was based on a Louis Vuitton design that I did for Kanye. I can't say that Louis Vuitton stole my idea because
it's Louis Vuitton.
Because I was bootlegging Louis Vuitton, and then Louis Vuitton bootlegged my bootleg. You know what I mean?
That
So-
you just posted that today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. I saw that.
So, and you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's flattering.
It's fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. You know, so,
fair
and then,
enough.
but we've always just kept going with the Big E. You
Yeah.
know, because the Big E thing was, you know, we never, and it's not like we don't make a ton of money on the Big E stuff. I don't know if we've ever even
I don't
made
think we
money
ever
on the
make
Big
a
E
ton
stuff.
of money on any of these things because there are so many people who have to get paid that are involved in it. You know what I mean? It's an art installation in addition to, you know what I mean? In
and it's
addition
just
to-
a one-day thing.
Yeah, and it's a
too.
one-day thing. So to maximize it, like there's been times in the past, I did a Michael Jackson pop-up that we didn't do together, but I just did it by myself for his 60th birthday because I freaking love Michael Jackson. We did
More
the
of a Prince
menu.
guy.
Maybe we need to, just saying. Purple buns. I got you. Can't wait to make a purple rain burger with my
Yeah.
tears.
It's got to be
You
pancakes.
guys are funny.
If we don't serve pancakes.
There will be pancakes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, she did a Michael Jackson one, and you know.
We ran that menu for a week. Sam literally came in every single day and got the
Oh my
Remember the
God.
Time burger.
Yeah, this burger, like I'm not a big Mike fan, you know, but
Because you're rude.
but that burger was fire. Would it have gold flakes on it?
Amazing. No,
Did I make that up?
it did have gold flakes
Yeah,
in the
gold
sauce. Okay, so it was like Remember the
Like
Time.
24 karat, like.
Yeah,
So it was like
fire. It was
supposed
fire.
to be like luscious and aged was the theme. It was supposed to be like high end, and so it was like this like crazy like aged beef that we flew in
Yeah.
from New York. It was this like 35-year aged white cheddar. I made a thyme and gold sauce like
what it was.
aioli. That was it was
Wow.
really freaking.
So it was like dry
delicious.
aged, like beef?
Yeah, like
or-
everything was aged. Everything was like, yeah. And then I think the bacon too was some kind of like aged. It was like Remember the Time. It was. I'm very into
A
themes.
dry aged burger?
It was like
Yeah.
basically.
Wow. I
Yeah, it
wonder
was
what
good.
that would be like. Honestly, I've never had dry aged beef, but I've wanted to try it, but I've never seen anyone do like a dry aged burger.
Yeah, it was good. It was
That
really
sounds
good.
crazy.
It was,
And
yeah.
then you did like Mean Girls themes. You've done a lot
I did a
of
Mean
things.
Girl pop up because I mean like I always wonder if people think that like Pal Mecca Cafe was where I started doing like pop ups and themed things because it just wasn't it. I always did themed parties and things
Yeah.
like that. Like I'm a crazy. It's just like the burgers. It's like that's my personality. It's like I take it all on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When Des was saying earlier about how just a lot of people just have a habit of just doing the same thing
Mm-hmm.
in Central California. I don't know if that's a problem in other regions, but I live here and I noticed that just you know, everybody's a DJ, everybody's got a T-shirt line, everybody's a graphic designer, and sometimes it's just, you know, whatever, you don't want to pay someone else to do it. I get that, but for me, I have a network of friends that are amazing DJs. I have friends that are screen printers, and so if I have an idea for a burger, I'm not going to go out and start my own burger business. I'm going to reach out to my friend who is an expert burger maker.
Burger,
you know,
yeah.
spend
And
her
I don't
entire
make any
life,
of my
you know.
own T-shirts
Yeah.
unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah,
And I usually get his approval first.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah, so that's why I reached out to her for the Biggie thing, and for, you know, if it's food related. Well, now I do a lot of stuff with Cockies, and I've done stuff with the Grizzlies, but typically if it's a pop up food related thing, I work with Des.
Wow.
Just because she has, I mean, she's been doing like these pop ups, and she has all the equipment there, and she makes really good burgers. So
Yeah, I gotta go try them. I can't believe I've
you.
never been out there.
Monday.
So-
Monday's the day.
yes, Monday.
You want to
Monday.
January
talk about
27th.
So one of the because I used to create a lot of the, you know, just weird random foods for minor league baseball. That's sort of a thing that's synonymous with minor league baseball. The Grizzlies, you know, we did the Grizzly eggs and
The Fresno taco
the
or the
the Franken slice, the pizza with the hot dog in it, and
Chickle.
the chickle, and all these weird random foods. So I still have the, you know, urge to create sort of, you know, foods like that. So one of the things that I'm going to start doing with Des is sort of like this Sam Burger series of just burgers that might work, they might not. Des will definitely let me know
I absolutely
if
will.
they will, if they do or not. But I'm constantly like running ideas by her, and sometimes she's like, "Oh hell no!" I'm like, you know,
So,
and so
when he told you about the layer
The
burger,
7-layer
what were you
dip
what were
burger?
you thinking?
yeah.
My first thing was like beans on a burger. I just replied refried beans.
So as I was telling you guys earlier, like I was at this Super Bowl party a few years ago, and everybody was just getting in the 7-layer dip, and I'm a habitual double dipper.
Yeah.
And so
I am too.
right? Hey,
I am too.
man, you know, get in there. And so I was like, man, like maybe I need my own little portion. And I thought to myself, I was like, man, if I could just put this on a burger, and I was like, would it kind of taste like a torta? Like what? And then, so in my head, I was like, man, like I think it would work if you put a layer of beans, a layer of guacamole, a layer of sour cream.
Sour cream's crazy.
It actually hit. That's what was
mac and
wild.
cheese,
Pico.
so we made one. We just made one earlier today.
And I'm not gonna lie,
It
it
was
was,
good?
fucking delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even lie.
So my plan was to just eat it over a bed of Tostitos with just a hint of lime. Tostitos right there, so that if it fell, you scoop it up.
The drippings.
And then yeah, what did you call them?
The drippings.
The
Yeah.
But then Des was like, nah, she put the chips in the burger.
That sounds.
And it
I
was
was gonna
fire.
think.
and it gave
give
it more
that
texture.
crunch.
Yeah,
was
gave it
fire.
crunch. And then she was like, I mean, I was like grunting while
This
I
shit
was
was
eating
fire.
it.
He
It was,
literally was grunting.
but it was good. It was good. It
Like,
was what
calm
I
down.
expected it to do. So I don't know, maybe so that's gonna be for the Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl 7-layer dip burger, and then hopefully like those do well, and if not, we'll try something for St. Patrick's Day or whatever. But I just want to keep doing these
doing
like
stuff.
a themed burger.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's gonna have her smush burgers, the GBLs, all day, every day at her spot. So.
Yeah. I think the plan is that we do continue to do different specialty things as well as we go. Like I said, you do one thing and then you're yesterday's news. So you kind of have to keep that traction going all the time to keep people coming through your doors.
Yeah.
Once your business is open, people forget about you, especially if you're in a place that's not high traffic, which Fulton Street is much better than it was when we closed in 2020. But we're still, we still need a lot more people downtown in Fresno.
Yeah, it's growing down
Yeah,
there.
it's
People are
definitely
wanting it to grow. But
It is. There's
I
a
know-
lot more residential down there now too, which is great.
Yeah. What do you guys think about like the gentrification? I know there's like some people for it, some people against it. Like, what do you guys think about it?
Well, I mean, we both live downtown,
Yeah.
and how do I say, like, you can't really gentrify places that don't. I could see it's pushing people out, but the building that I moved into was vacant, and it had been vacant for years when I moved in. So it's not like I didn't displace anyone.
Gotcha.
You know,
I would say that my perspective on that has changed though as we approach high-speed rail.
Now, that's
and
different,
as
yeah.
I have seen building owners who are not even from Fresno hang on to their buildings that are terrible, boarded up pieces of shit. They're waiting for larger business to come
Yeah.
in with that influx of traffic that's going to come from high-speed rail. I do think people will potentially be displaced with that.
yeah.
I do. It's a big fear of mine.
So I don't want to see
Yeah.
like Tres Hermanos or like the businesses downtown like get pushed.
Get pushed
I
out.
don't want to see that. But these empty buildings, like I do want to see businesses go into the empty buildings.
Absolutely.
Because a lot
You know,
of those
'cause
buildings,
that's-
like downtown, is like where a lot of this, like the hub, like a lot of nice things are. A lot of like, like kind of like the bigger businesses there, like in a downtown. So there's a lot of room down there with those empty buildings for
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
But like Des was saying, everyone like when people think that a gold rush is coming,
Yeah.
no one wants to be the first one to sell. But
And they also don't want to be the ones making the investment in changing things. Other than a handful of like pet projects, like the Pacific Southwest building, they've done amazing things there. But there's tons of other buildings that owners own, and they are not going to put any money in it whatsoever. And these buildings are very old. They're out of compliance. They're no longer ADA accessible. Like, they need a lot of work, millions of dollars of work even. That's not something you can put back on a small business owner.
Yeah,
Nobody
I mean,
has
I-
the money in the
I
startup phase.
bought a building. So we're not really like downtown proper.
We're like Mural Arts District,
Middle
Lowell.
Arts District, Lowell. But I bought a building, and I just didn't realize how much money it is to.
Oh my God.
To bring that thing back to life.
Yeah.
And then think
yeah.
about it from the compliance side of having a business. If you were a restaurant, they'd be like, no,
Oh,
this
yeah.
bathroom doesn't work. There's not enough of an
Yeah.
incline here. This doesn't work. They just told us we can't use our soda machine.
Yeah,
Like it's just always something.
and they've been there for
Yeah.
how long?
we were there. We
7
were
years?
in there open dang near 7 years.
7 years,
Operating
so-
exactly as things were. But when they came back around this time, it was like, oh no, this doesn't work anymore. I'm just like, okay.
I saw vintage clothes in my place. Imagine having to deal with all the health department, issues
Yeah,
too. Like,
yeah.
Like, thank God I don't have to deal with them. So, and just with my building alone, I mean, my roof was leaking and just, I mean,
It's not like
it's a lot,
heating and cool. It's like all the things. And like, it's one thing when it's our home or your property in the way that you use it. But when you're talking about business, those business owners are already going to have so many different fees, so
Yeah.
many different permits and different things that they have to do. They can't also spend $250,000 updating your building.
Yeah.
Building owner.
Because that's what a lot of the building owners expect. They're hey, the AC goes out, that's on you.
And then and a lot of people don't know better, so they don't sign good leases. And another tip on starting a business is get somebody behind you who knows what that process looks like, knows all the agencies that are going to be up your ass coming after you for a check, because there's a lot in every industry.
Yeah.
Had to find out what TIs meant.
Yes, TIs.
I was like, excuse me? All right, okay.
And you think some of those businesses could get priced out of their like rent as well, because
Absolutely.
if as things go up, they're gonna want to increase rent, but maybe
I
the
think that's
increased
what happened
traffic.
Full Circle. I think that's why they moved out, because prices are rising.
What
For
was
the
it?
rent.
I don't know Full Circle, but
Yeah,
I
I
do
don't
know. Again, I don't know all the cheeseman or what, but I know that when Fulton Street was opening, and Des and her dad, like, they toughed it out. Like, they were G's. They toughed out, like, construction and everything. Like, they made it. There was this place that I love. Remember that place, Saigon Deli?
Yes, they closed right away.
Yeah, because
They were open for like 30 years or something crazy.
yeah, I don't know how long, but they were fire. It was this really good
thought,
pho spot
maybe
on Fulton Street, and
Good ass Vietnamese place.
yeah, I'd been there forever. And then they told me, I don't know if this is true, but they told me that the rent got raised. Like, once they opened Fulton Street, and they just closed, and then nothing has gone in there. Well, no, there's been a few things in there, right? But
There's supposed to be something that's in the process of opening now. But that's another thing. We talk about
that
the
place
whiskey
could have
place.
just stayed, and
And we talk about a place like that, and like people get these leases, and then they realize, oh, there's another several $1,000s in construction work that needs to be done, or in permit fees that need to be paid, and it's really not a system that is set up for people without generational wealth to be able to own businesses.
Yeah, it
I
gets
just
really
closed
tough.
down my business. I had a trash bin cleaning, and my machine broke down.
Damn.
Literally, 2 weeks into having the actual trader, it broke down, and then just boom. Every single week, something different.
how long did you have the business?
I was 6 months before I got a trader. Then I lasted 6 months fixing the trader, and I'm so much in debt that I was like, you know what? Let me just try
I'm
something
sorry,
else.
bro. Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's
It was a good. I would get customers like crazy. I couldn't fulfill the.
You couldn't
The
keep up.
service.
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is part of
but
it.
I had a friend. We have family friends that were on Fulton too. They're the CD shop, like behind the fountain, I think, right in the middle where
Oh,
there's
right,
a
on
stage and
Mariposa?
stuff. I don't know the streets. I was young, so I don't remember. But as soon as the whole closed, like the whole construction stuff happened, they were out of there too. I think
Oh, the
they're,
music spot that was right there behind the little where the Mariposa Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right behind the stadium where
Uh-huh.
like they always preach and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
moved
remember
out
that
there,
spot. It
too.
was they're right next to like Family Fashion.
Yeah.
Um,
We would go in there and get CDs all the time.
yeah, I remember that spot. That's I think it's a barber shop now, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I haven't
Yeah.
been there.
Under the construction, you talked about like you guys toughing it out because that construction was going on. Did people think your business was closed, or did you guys see less traffic come
Absolutely.
through?
There was literally a 7-foot fence with a tarp
Yeah.
wrapped around it in front of our door, 5 feet from our door. And there's dust and noise happening while the construction's happening within this enclosure. Yeah, so like people had to walk around that for one. Like someone who's right across the street had to walk around the block to get around the fencing and come to us. Like, and then obviously there's no foot traffic when there's major construction happening. The
Construction
entire
going on.
road is being built. Like,
When
it was
was
really
this?
tough.
What year was this?
That would have been
I mean, it was going on.
2018.
It was going on in
2017?
It was going on in 2016 too during the POC thing.
So
when it first
the
started,
street was
remember?
closed in 2016, and then I think maybe it's months later it started. But even that was like
Because the grand
took
open
forever.
It opened in 2018 was when it opened. That
Okay.
was when he did like the
grand opening?
Yeah, the Hella Ninja pop
Yeah,
up.
you're right.
Because I did a pop up on the grand opening, and you did a pop up too, right?
I did. That was when I was starting my bar business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that was-
I remember for our family as well, one year they were starting to update the building and paint it and all this sort of stuff. So there was like scaffolding, and they took down, the signs, the neon signs and all that sort of stuff. And there was a big shift in the traffic coming through, but, they're still wanting to raise the rent. And it's like,
That's crazy.
Right.
yeah, so we there was some back and forth. I mean, I wasn't a part of any of that, but I remember hearing conversations and kind of remembering all that sort of stuff going on.
You know who I really kind of my heart goes out to is Morgan at Central Fish. Really good dude. His family's been down there forever, and at the stadium, our staff at the Grizzlies, we would walk across the tracks and go to Central Fish like every day to get Red Bulls and get stuff. And now, I mean, Chinatown is like in a like pretty much like a little bubble, right? I mean, it's completely cut off from everybody.
It's almost it's empty there because we looked
Yeah.
at a spot to possibly put the
for your guys-
restaurant
for your guys'
there.
idea? Yeah.
And it was like, dude, this street's a ghost. It's right in
Yeah.
front of what's his name, Chef.
Chef Paul's.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were
It
gonna go
was
across
right-
there. You were gonna go over there.
It was,
Yeah, it was that
Yeah.
orange building on the corner, and then it has like a back lot
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all just sort of cut like its own, like this little like desolate island now. Shouts out to Mike Oz and the Street Eats guys, Tony and Vendor Village. They do that the night market over there, and that does get a lot of people
Really?
over there for that. Yeah, and it's super good for Chinatown. Chinatown, I feel sorry because like there's so much. Don't get me wrong, like I'm live downtown, I work downtown. I'm very big on the energy focusing downtown and radiating outward, but I feel like Chinatown like gets cut off. Like there's so much
Yeah,
focus
they do.
on downtown that Chinatown is kind of like the redheaded stepchild that just doesn't really get
Get
the love
any
that it,
love.
that it that it should. And it's just as historic. It's just as important. Yeah. So
It's even more historic in some
True,
ways.
true.
I
You're right,
think
you're right.
also though the reason would probably be because it's more historic. There's even a bigger price tag on renovating
Yeah.
those spaces
Oh, it's
and bringing them
expensive.
up to like
Yeah.
so
'Cause
you
there's a
could get it
lot
for
of
really
work.
cheap, but again, it's what do you have to do to actually make the building like safe to inhabit? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking at prices to get that building up to standards, whatever it is for the restaurants. Minimum, it was going to be 100,000. And if we wanted to do like crazy stuff, like how I was planning, it was going to be like $1 million. I don't have $1 million.
I could put something on it. I mean,
Say put 5 on it.
I got it, dog.
Man.
Yeah,
It-
that's the what was it? The On Serve shop is down there. My boy YB has
next
a
to La
spot.
Elegante.
Has a spot down there. That's one of like my favorite local brands is On Serve.
I like that.
And then he has a partnership with Mac Dre's brand Thiz, and so he has Thiz Central Valley down there too. There's a lot of like hidden gems in Chinatown. I mean, obviously like La Elegante and
Yeah.
Chef Paul's.
The bakery down there's pretty good too.
Is that the
There's
one
a
that's right
bakery.
there where Chris meets?
It's in front of I think it's Bank of America.
Good, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean Yoshi Now is in Chinatown now.
And they just built like a huge like apartment building.
Yeah, right in front
or-
of the Mexican Latino Mercado
Yeah.
Latino or something like that. In
But
front
it's
of
like stories high.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Is
that.
it residential?
Yeah, so
I
up
think
top
so, yeah.
residential and underneath is gonna be commercial.
Nice.
I saw that. That's sort of down towards
It should
Fresno
I think
Street
it's right
more now.
right in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like where you start getting over there towards where it dips down to go under the,
Yeah.
that area right there.
I think it's called Mariposa. I think that's what they're
Is that
calling it.
Mariposa? Yeah.
No, the building.
Oh, the building.
Yeah,
The building.
I think that's what they're calling
Okay.
it.
There are projects that happen. It's just far and few between. If you look at other cities that are developing all the time, there's scaffolds up everywhere. There's movement happening all the time. Like so, Fresno just moves
Slow.
super slow. And I think that my fear it's going to be nothing at all and then all at once.
Kind of probably when that train comes through, if
Yeah.
it ever comes through,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Because, like you said, just seeing how they reacted to the street opening and they assumed that there was going to be all this traffic. At that time, I was looking for my own building to open up a second business on top of Take 3. And they were already jacking up, 75 to $1 per square foot more. And it was like, for what? Nothing's happened yet. Yeah. So I can only imagine what they're preparing for with high-speed rail and with how many people will want the lower living cost here if they can get somewhere that quickly and they can commute to work. And why wouldn't they open businesses here? Why wouldn't they buy a building? Because it's so much cheaper here. And those of us who live here, this is our income bracket. Like,
I don't know how many.
Cheap anymore.
I don't know how many of the people that live in like Iron Birds and a lot of these apartments down around us are Bay Area transplants, but I know that a lot of them are. I'll go over to the Rio Acai Bowl place right there. Every once in a while, I like to get coffee or whatnot, and there was this dude in there. He's a Warriors fan, and so he and I would talk basketball. And he mentioned that he had moved down from Milpitas. And then one day I was in there chopping it up with him, and he said, man, I wish that there was an Apple store here in Fresno. I need to get my Apple Watch fixed. I was like, why don't you just go to Fashion Fair? There's an Apple store in Fashion Fair. And he had no idea what Fashion Fair was because he's from the Bay Area, and he only works and then here doesn't really contribute anything to the Fresno economy at all. He just works here, pays his rent, and then goes back to the Bay Area on the weekend.
That's weird because I thought most people, they still work out of the Bay Area, but they moved to Fresno during COVID because a lot of everything went work from home.
Yeah.
So it's like, why live over there when...
No, he lives here. He does live here, but he has zero interest in our culture.
Yeah, and
I see.
being
You know what I'm saying?
So he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves. So on the weekend, he goes back to the Bay Area.
Mm.
And I've told him about Tioga. I've told him about Full Circle. I told him about downtown. I've given him free tickets to a Grizzlies game.
No interest in going.
And it's almost like I hope he's not watching this because we're actually cool. We talk about the Warriors, and whatnot. But it's almost sort of like a patronizing tone. I'm from the Bay Area originally, but I've always considered Fresno my people. My family's from here. I spent a lot of time here as a kid, and I've noticed that Bay Area people do this a lot. No, so not so much the LA people, but I've noticed that Bay Area people will move here and they're just super oh, Fresno, you're so cute. Mm-hmm. Oh, we love what you guys are doing. We think, this could be such a great place. And it just, I don't know.
My cousin just moved to Oakland, and she acts the same way. She was from Fresno, but she acts like that.
Acts like that?
Now she's from the Bay.
I'm weak. Not 5 minutes in the Bay.
Yeah, I can't stand that. I can't stand when they act like that to us when they come down here. Mm. Oh, and like I said, I grew up there, but I've always I've got the valley in my veins, so I've never acted like that to the
I haven't either. And I'm born and raised here, but I've never had that kind of response to Fresno. I think, and then this is what I will say. I was afforded a lot of opportunities as a kid. I was able to go and be other places and travel. I still travel a lot. So I think I realized really young that there is value in being in a place that is in such close proximity to everything you could possibly ever want to do. We drove to LA all the time. We would go to the Garment District. We would go to Venice Beach. We would go to the amusement parks. We would go to the Bay Area. We go eat clam chowder in San Francisco or whatever.
So with your family?
With my family. We go to Pismo. We go up to the mountains, to the snow, and everything was within driving distance. So to me, it was just
it could be a day trip.
Everything's super close. And we would. We took tons of day trips and then especially once I was getting on an airplane and going to other places, it was why would I not live somewhere I can actually afford the lifestyle I want to lead? 100%. And I think I got that really young, that I could be somewhere else, but I was aware that other places were so expensive.
Yeah. And then it would take away from you being able to experience a lot more if, you know, you don't have the same income level because, you got to be in the next level in some of those bigger cities. Now rent's getting pretty expensive here, but I remember an apartment that I was renting here for $1,000 before in LA was $3,000.
Oh,
so,
and now they're 21, 22 here.
My brother pays more for his apartment than I pay for my mortgage on my house still. He's living in LA.
But the rent is going up crazy here also.
Crazy now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is all the more reason we should be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
ever
saying.
since 2020, it's doubled basically. Yeah, I remember when I first got my first apartment, I was paying like $800, and I would like I ever so often like I'll check, and I think right now, yeah, it's at like $1,500 for that same, and I lived there only like I guess it was like 5 years ago, but I feel like that's not that long ago for it to
No,
almost
5 years
double.
isn't that long ago.
Yeah,
I remember my first apartment was $475.
man.
I feel old as shit saying that. My first rent for my apartment was $475.
Man, imagine that. Yeah.
Yo, for like a little like 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
The bungalow.
No. This is like in college.
Oh,
like this
okay,
would have been like
okay,
early
yeah,
2000s, 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
what's your take on going into business with family, or like doing business with your family?
Oh man, she was just talking about this earlier.
No way. Yeah.
I love her dad. Like her dad is my dude, man. He is a great
Everybody
guy,
loves
so,
my
yeah.
dad. You know, I love my dad
Because
too.
you're doing it again.
Oh my
you
God,
guys
I
had it
know.
before, and you guys are going back into it.
No, I know. And someone like asked me the other day, like, well, why are you doing it? And I was like, I don't know. Time just really kind of aligned. And that's really all I can say. Like, it definitely was not something that I ever thought was going to happen again. Because working with family is hard. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Working with family is really hard. Especially, like, when
I kind of knew they would. I don't know why. My gut told me that they would.
Well, it
Really?
sounds like
Yeah,
it's something
yeah.
special. You know.
It is.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say. Like, we make a really good team. My dad is a contractor. So part of the reason we're able to navigate a lot of these challenges with these buildings because he can go in and
wow.
fix that shit. And then on the flip side, like, you know, I've always been the marketing leg of the business. He's not going to be forward facing in any way. He doesn't want to do any interviews. He doesn't know how to do marketing. So we've always kind of brought something to the table that the other person doesn't have too.
That's
so I think that's
perfect,
good for a partnership is like, he knows he needs me. I know I need him. I couldn't be in a raggedy ass building like that without a contractor involved. Like, so and so I think when he started talking about opening back up again, I had been looking for a building for a really long time to put GrumpyBurgerLadies in. There was no spaces downtown because I was not going to build out a kitchen for some building owner. And so it was just kind of like, low key, he kind of was like, I still need you for marketing. So I was like, and I say low key because he'll probably be like, I didn't ask you to do nothing. But he did. And he was, and I was like, well, you know, okay, well, I could open up out of there too. I was fine, whatever, okay. Well, that was how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because, you know, I used to work with my family, and I remember I was like, man, as soon as I'm old enough to get a job, like, I'm out of here,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, yeah, and it was just because I never liked being in the kitchen, honestly, because, well, I was never cooking, right? Maybe I might go in the morning and help him prep and do the
yeah.
rice, the easy stuff, but
Yeah.
once that line is going, I was
Stay
never
outta
in there,
there.
you know?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
18 when they sold it, so I was still relatively young. So I did more of serving and you know, I was mainly just a busboy, you know, and but man, they would pull me to do the dishes, and I hated doing the dishes, you know. But I like say like my dad, when we're in that business or when we're working, he could see me doing something, and then he would tell me to do it as I'm doing it. Like I'm there, like, because you know you go in and you're serving chips and salsa, right? And then I'm there like filling up the like basket of chips, and I have like all the salsas lined up, and and he's like, hey, go take chips to that table, and I'm like, I'm like, I would have never done that, you know. That was not in my brain, but yeah, I always wonder. But then I remember once I did get older, I would work like the lunch shift with my mom, and that grew our relationship very, very well as well, and we worked really well together. But I wasn't in the kitchen anymore. But.
Sadly, I have not had that experience where it made our relationship better. But I think it has grown, like, probably his respect for me, because I'm a daughter too, which, you know, there's a big difference between a daughter and a son. I think my dad is definitely the kind of man who's like wanted his son to follow in his footsteps. I don't think he expected to have like a loudmouth daughter that was like the boss in the room. And so yeah, it's been an adjustment and a learning curve, but we figure it out. I think we do all right. We put good shit out together. So.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And yeah, like with the marketing, it sounds like you guys are killing it with the pop-ups. Anything else we should keep an eye out for? Like, or you have anything like maybe coming soon that you guys are working on?
You know, I think I'm going to be looking to do a lot of like new collabs. I've definitely been feeling like my age lately. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I'm feeling out of touch. I am not one that needs to be in the know and knowing all the new. So I would really love to see like some young creatives come out of the woodworks, and y'all tell me what we doing, because I'm not going to be hosting game nights and beer pong and whatever else. I don't know, whatever kids are doing. So I think I want young creatives and an event people like myself when I was coming up and I was looking for a venue to do something out of. Like, I would very much like those people to call me and like tell me they're bringing a DJ and we'll have food and beer for you. And yeah,
so that sort of stuff.
That's what I would say is like anybody who's up and coming in like events and stuff like what Sam and I have done over these years. I'm getting tired.
This is 10 years of the Biggie thing, so
yeah,
that's cool. I want to go out to this one this time, and I'm not a morning person, so
yeah.
It goes till like 10:30.
Oh, but I want to get the full experience.
Yeah. I say come early because we always have our ride or dies that come
and we
early.
Drop, like right at that 546, you drop it, like it.
And we toast.
Right at we have
what are you guys drinking out there?
Great mimosas.
We have
oh, okay. Do you have like? Or I don't know if I should ask.
We have beer and wine at the restaurant.
Beautiful.
We do. Yeah. So we will
have these champagne
mimosas.
glasses that say we sip champagne when we're thirsty.
Yeah.
So we do the Biggie toast then at 546. But
yeah, that's March 9th.
Yeah, that's March 9th. When do you want to do the Super Bowl burger? You want to take pre-orders for that, or?
Yeah, we'll probably.
Because it's gonna be
the first
the
weekend
9th.
in February.
The 9th of February.
So
which which is a Sunday. Yeah, probably like what are you guys thinking? Maybe do like a run for that weekend, maybe like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, should we just have them for pre-order for pickup? For you tell me. It's so.
Yeah, we gotta figure it out.
That's what she gets paid the big.
Those will be available Super Bowl weekend.
That's when she gets paid the big bucks.
I wish.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the big bucks.
I wanted to see if it would be a good burger.
And it was.
Because in my head it was a good, and I know that she's not gonna front. I know.
Absolutely not. I would love to tell you that it tastes like shit and you're stupid.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like at the Grizz, like people will be like, I see what you're doing here, and like Dez will be like, oh hell no, this is fucking, this is
weird.
trash.
That was us with the tacos.
Yeah.
Well, because I was telling him like I saw him doing the turkey queso tacos, and I was like, bro, that sounds kind of crazy. Like the cranberry, like sauce, and then so like. When we went, like I was like, I got to try at least one. I got tacos. I tried the tamal, and then I tried one of the tacos, and then I had the taco with the sauce, and I was like, oh, like Sam knows something.
As hell that they ran out of that sauce.
No, no, but like I went
bit.
back for more, and they were sold out already, and I was like, man.
So far, my batting average for the food collabs is pretty good. The one L I will admit to. And it's my fault because I forced Brickology to do it. Brickology is not like Brickology did the.
Which pizza?
I mean, they've done some bangers for us. Shouts out to Brickology.
Because I'm like their Turkey Day pizza was amazing. Don't tell me that's what you were gonna say.
No. And I fell in love with the idea more. I'm Irish, so I had this stencil made. Remember this one?
Oh, the clover pizza.
I made this so I had a stencil made so it's like a shaped like a clover, like a shamrock, like pizza. But then
put corned beef hash on it.
And they were like, let's just put pepperoni on it. It already looks like clover. And I was like, no, let's put corned beef and cabbage on it.
I didn't get the corned beef and cabbage one. I got a clover like pepperoni pizza.
Because I'm Irish, so we eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day.
Ain't nobody trying to eat that shit.
Yo,
Sam over here trying to share his cultural
I've actually
meals.
never had corned beef. So.
It was a bad idea, Blade. I'm not gonna lie.
It
was a bad idea.
I'll interrupt to give you your flowers because when you were talking about the turkey taco earlier, I was gonna say, as a food creative that works with Sam is really good about sharing an idea with an immense amount of detail. It's not like he has the full scope of the project, right? But then he lets you make it.
For sure.
And as a person who is the food creative, like you know how to make it.
Yeah. No, I'm not
the
trying to be a
right
chef.
way.
I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
a chef.
no,
That's
he
why
doesn't.
I'll work with same thing like, just being in a b-boy. Like just remember how I said last time like buy a b-boy. I'm a b-boy like I'm a horrible breakdancer, but I'm a b-boy. But I've never wanted to like DJ because I just want to trust the people who are really like the kings of that element. And so,
the masters of that,
yeah.
of their craft.
Of their craft, for sure. Like
No, you're good. He's really good at giving instruction though. He'll be like, "I want this kind of sauce," but then he lets me make like the Hennessy
for sure.
sauce. Like we made it and it was fire.
Yeah,
Like,
because I think I just made it. The first time I made it, I just used like apple butter and Hennessy, and I cooked it down. And then Dad's like, "Nah."
you cook like a white person. He has no seasonings in his cabinet. He got like Mrs. Dash and salt. Sir, what is this?
Yeah,
no
no.
paprika.
She's not lying. I do
I'm
not.
not.
I got like garlic salt, and
Yeah.
I buy top quality product. It doesn't need artificial flavor. It doesn't
So
need
you bring
flavor.
the love into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We bring
No,
the
definitely.
seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always try to collaborate with people that because Bianca knows how to
Yeah, she know how to cook.
Yeah, they've won Taco Truck Throwdown 9 times.
Yeah.
So she knew what she was doing with that. And so I apologize to Brickology for forcing you guys into that.
Corned beef.
That is one of the few food creations you have created that I did not try.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like on some like, I'm going to make,
Yeah, I'm gonna make this happen. Yeah.
and it was a bad, never again. I'm just going to trust the chef.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, because you have so many ideas. I feel like you're just very creative mindset. Like,
For the Grizzlies, you're kind of like expected to kind of get something that's going to get like attention and things like that, and so you really try to balance that with like it actually tasting good. Like I had someone say on social media the other day, they were like, "Oh, when Sam from FTK puts Chick-fil-A sauce and something in a McFlurry," like basically like mocking me, saying that like I just make weird ass random creations, but
Which you do.
which I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, check my timeline though too. You know what I mean?
hits,
like
though,
that,
yeah.
So guilty, but we've got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
To make an omelet.
do you think you develop like the creative over time, or do you think it's something you've just always had kind of a gift for?
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, like, I would assume it's probably all the same thing, right? There's like, when you're singing, like, you kind of correlate like flavor with that too. Like,
Yeah. I don't.
you know how Kanye says like
That he sees the
drum,
song,
I
yeah.
see the drum. Like, so for me,
Pharrell has that too. Yeah.
like for me, like whenever I'm doing designs, I'll be like, oh, like I know that this could balance with this. Like I remember telling her about the chickle before the chickle, because I remember being in Nashville eating at Prince's, and it was hot, too hot for me, and I was like, man, I just need way more vinegar to like balance this out. And I was like, damn, I could just hollow out a pickle. Pause.
You were waiting for her to chirp you right there.
Yeah, no, but I was like, I could just eat a whole pickle with just the chicken in this,
I hate you.
Pause. But in my head, I was thinking like just the.
Chickle was actually my least favorite thing too. I did not.
Did you eat one?
Yes, and this is too much fucking pickle. It's like
Okay, but why is Jimmy John's doing it now?
it's still gross.
I saw some people are now like making sandwiches with the pickle as the bun.
Because it's like a keto thing.
Yeah.
It's no carb. I've seen people make. Have you seen that onion burger where they take the slice of the onion and they grill it up really
They
good?
do that at In-N-Out.
Oh,
no?
those
do
are
it in In-N-Out
good.
now.
Those are
Yeah.
I
good.
haven't tried. That seems like just too
Yeah.
much onion for me.
I
And
love,
think it's
I
the
love
grilled
a
onions is
grilled caramelized onion, and it's just so soft and gives that kind
Do
of
they
sweet.
make it real soft? Because that's the other thing I'm wondering. With the thickness that they cut it, I'm like, is it soft or
It
is
is.
it like a crunch?
It is soft.
Okay.
It is,
okay.
it is,
Good.
yeah. But it's with the cheese in there. Oh, yeah, it's really good.
I trust you. Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the chickle did what it needed to do though.
It
I mean
did.
it didn't get quite the the viral hype as the Tupac.
It got news though.
But it got hella news. Like, I mean,
Because
Matt.
I remember you sending me the news when I told you it was nasty. Well,
Yeah.
ESPN thought it was good. I was
No, like I watched the Today. I watched the Today Show every morning, and this is when Matt. This is back when Matt Lauer.
that was what it was.
Yeah,
It was the
and I was like
Today Show.
bugging out. I was like, what the hell, Matt Lauer?
Talking about
they made one. Like, I don't know who made it for him. Theirs actually looked better because they used they chopped up fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
And then they put.
Because
the
yours was
Nashville.
grilled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
then-
love fried chicken.
And they had fried chicken. I wanted to do it grilled, but another thing with the Grizz is they want everything streamlined. They want it to get out fast because it's a baseball game and whatnot. And Dez is actually like down to like take time and really Cocky's too sometimes. But I wanted it with fried chicken, chopped up chicken tenders put on there. And for whatever reason, sometimes too when you're working with anyone on a collaboration, be it a DJ or a artist or whatnot, people kind of like to have to put their thing on it also. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people
Their
will,
spin.
yeah, like they want to have their fingerprints. Like, somebody has to be like, change that to this. Like, someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's just like, ooh, like, they feel like they need to do something and when I was working with the head of the Grizzlies food department at the time, they were just sort of like, I think it should be shredded chicken. And I was like, and I wasn't that married to the idea. I just knew that if we had a freaking
Meat in a pickle.
yeah, in a pickle, that the media would pick it up and people would be like, what have the Grizzlies done now? And so that was mainly what I wanted, but I also wanted it to taste good. But on the Today Show, Matt Lauer had this freaking chickle that had
The actual Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah.
Somebody probably went and got a Nashville
Yeah.
hot chicken and
made
chopped it up.
And chopped it up.
Yeah. But that balance between like finding something that will like catch and then is actually tastes good, So
Yeah, it makes a really big difference.
which I feel like locally, my guy is really good at that. Like
Yeah.
Floyd is good at finding the balance between like something like he took the rib idea from that burrito in LA, but then like his
is a sandwich, right?
yeah, and it's fire. Like he's actually
It
a
is.
hella good. I would consider him to be like a pit master or whatever you would call it now. Like he's really good at like barbecuing. So that sandwich, I don't know if you've ever had it, the Checkmate.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I've seen it.
it's fire. Like it's a very, very good sandwich. Not just the viral element of like pulling
Pulling it, and it's
Do that
just
again.
like, boom.
oh man, but yeah, like that balance of like making something that's actually good. So
Man. And
Yeah, I don't.
you talked about like doing like the Michael Jackson. You guys had like a special burger. Like, do you guys have any other specialty burgers that you guys do?
Well, I mean, any pop up that we do, there's always a specialty menu that goes. Like we had the Honey's Play Me Close burger, like butter plate toast for the Biggie one year. Maybe we'll run that back. We did a full
Yeah.
Biggie burger menu as well, in addition to the steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape last time. We had them all themed.
Yeah.
So it's all about the theme for me. Like Honey's Play Me
Always,
Close, like butter plate
always.
toast. So some toast, it was butter, it was a hot honey, it was what I mean. Like I'm very literal.
yeah.
I think I'm never really thinking about the viral factor, which I understand because you're a marketer. But I'm more so just like something that is interesting and it tastes good is more so my priority. And I like
Yeah.
food that's photo worthy too. I will say that. Like, I feel like 90% of what we put out, which is funny because the Grumpy Burger is really not pretty at all. It's really ugly, which makes me sad.
Because it's mad.
Yeah, because it's all smushed
But you
together.
know those
Good.
flavors
But it just
are
makes
gonna
you
go
feel good.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make
Yeah.
me sad that that's not pretty, but like the Take 3 burgers, they're all like I will send out a burger and literally be like, "You're beautiful," like on its way out of the kitchen, like every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like it's really important to me that things are visually appealing because I think
And it's
part of
like
the
when you
experience.
get the food too, it's like, when it looks like so much pretty. I went to a restaurant recently, and they brought out the food, and like nothing looked like they just their plating was like honestly like a 1 out of
meh.
10. Yeah, it was just like no, it just looks like they kind of just threw
Threw it
everything
together.
there.
And especially when it comes to fast food or fast casual, you don't have high expectations because customer service and like quality of food died a long time ago in the fast food industry. When you're talking about burgers and fries, they just throw some shit together. Fries be all upside down in the bag. Burger got that thick ass piece of lettuce on it, the nasty part. Like, you know
the green, the like end of the tomato and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't spend time. Yeah,
Your
like
fry cup
actually
has
making
one
it
fry.
good.
Yeah.
So if we could make a clip for you for, you know, you guys opening on Monday, what would you like to say?
I would like to say, come by and visit us. Take 3 by GrumpyBurgerLadies will be open officially January 27th, which is this upcoming Monday. We are going to have that classic Take 3 menu in addition to the GrumpyBurgerLadies Grumpy menu. We actually have the same menu that we had when we were open. It was all the fan favorite specialty burgers that we offered before. Now you can get it Take 3 classic style or you can get it Grumpy style. Yeah, we're just really excited to see everybody. We've gotten such a huge response on social media and from people reaching out. Like, I know folks are excited for it. We need them to come in. We need them to come. We need them to support. We need to keep these doors flooded for as long as possible because business ownership is hard as hell.
Yeah. No, we'll wish you ton of success, and
Thank you.
we'll definitely be out there for sure.
Appreciate you.
100%. Anything else you guys want to? I know we're like at 8:50, but
First 10, maybe 5, 6 people that show up.
10, 5, 6.
I have various sizes of this Take 3 FTK collab tee. So I have some of these.
That's one of my favorite shirts,
Yeah,
too.
so
Keep
we'll,
your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart.
So I'll give some of those out to the first people that show up.
oh, sweet.
And
Sweet.
after that, they could buy that at the location.
I mean, I just found a stack of them.
Yeah,
We did these-
everybody tell Sam to make me some t-shirts because I need merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for he actually made our logo for
Dope.
Grizzly Talk, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
loved it.
yeah,
We
for
threw
sure.
it up. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, guys. That's thank you guys for creating a platform for people like Dez and all the other guests that you guys have had on here to tell their stories and promote their businesses and their endeavors. And I appreciate you guys.
no, of course that's what we're here for, and thank you guys for all the love. Thanks for everybody that watches. We really appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can keep bringing this level of guests, and let's keep putting on for the city. 100%.
For sure. Thank you.
Awesome.
Dope.
Peace. Man.